right, let's make the whole mess simple. Obamacare, 2,700 pages. Here's what's wrong with it. He who pays the piper calls the tune. That's the fundamental problem. Under Obamacare, everyone in healthcare will be working for the government, not for you. Doctors, hospitals, insurance companies, drug companies, because it's the government that determines what they get paid, not you. The government sets up the rules by which everyone will be paid. Insurance companies, doctors, hospitals, drug companies. So everyone in healthcare will be focused on those rules, not you. They will be focused on how to game the rules, how to change the rules, how somebody else might change the rules, how to maximize their income under the rules. They'll be focused on the rules, but not you. Doctors, hospitals, insurance companies, etc. will be focused on serving what the government wants, not you, because the government is the one that determines what they get paid, not you. Why would anyone pay any attention to you under Obamacare at all? What power will you have under Obamacare?
None.
Do you pick your insurance company? Well, how? The government requires them all to offer the same thing. So what difference does it make which one you pick? Do you pick your doctor? No, the insurance company will pick your doctor under Obamacare. When you sign up with an insurer, the insurer will assign you your doctor. There won't be independent competing doctors to choose from. They all will have signed up with major hospitals, clinics, insurers, HMOs, because that's the only way they can be sure to get paid. The independent doctor practice is already disappearing in America. And how would you pick among doctors anyway? The government will be telling them all how to practice. If you have a condition, the doctor looks up the payment code for that condition and does what the government says it will pay for. The doctor looks up what the government says is the best way to treat that condition and follows those instructions set by bureaucrats who met in Washington years ago. If he doesn't follow what they say, then he won't get paid or he'll be penalized. If he uses his own independent judgment and does something different from what the government says. This is because what Obamacare does, it replaces all markets in healthcare with central economic planning. That's based on Mr. Obama's assumption that bureaucrats meeting in Washington know everything, and you and your doctor know nothing. What incentives under this system will anyone have to serve you better? What incentives do they have? Incentives rule the world. Or especially if you are sick and costly to serve. What incentives do they have to serve you at all? Will the government pay doctors more to serve you commensurate with your cost if you're sick? Can doctors and hospitals make more serving lots of healthy people who cost almost nothing, or lots of sick people who each will cost a fortune? Can the doctors and hospitals count on the government to compensate them for your costs if you are truly sick? Of course not. The government will dictate to the doctors and the hospitals what not to do for you if you're sick. There'll be lots of rules of what they shall not do for you if you're sick. Especially if you are sick and you violate, because you're costly, you violate their budgets. You violate their requirements. Who will have any incentive to invest in this new Obamacare health system? Who has the incentive to put their money on the line so that there'll be service for you when you're sick? If you put up millions of dollars for a new, highly advanced, cutting-edge clinic, will the government's payment formulas allow you to be paid back for your investment? If you invest hundreds of millions of dollars for a sparkling new, cutting-edge, highly advanced hospital facility, will the government really allow you to be paid back to make any money on your investment? Or will the government see your plan as busting its settled budgets? If you invest hundreds of millions or billions for new, cutting-edge, life-saving medical technologies or drugs or therapies and treatments, can you count on the government's formulas to pay you back and allow you to make any money? So who will invest to turn modern, cutting-edge biomedical science into the best new services and treatments for the sick? Who will lay out their money? This costs millions, hundreds of millions, billions of dollars. Who's going to risk the money, their investors' money, counting on whether the bureaucrats setting the rules will allow them to be paid back? Nobody's going to invest. And so it'll be the deterioration of the American health system. If we don't succeed in repealing Obamacare, can you trust American health care anymore? Or will politics sacrifice you just when you need health care the most? You would only have one choice, and that is to get health insurance that covers health care overseas. You will have only one choice: choose freedom, because that's the only choice you'll have, is to escape the system. The alternative to Obamacare is patient power. Give power and control to the patient and his chosen doctors. Health savings accounts, where patients have maximum control over their funds and what to spend them on. Allow insurers to sell and compete nationwide across state lines. Give workers buying their own insurance directly the same tax exemption as employer-provided insurance. Patient power is what Paul Ryan proposes for Medicare. That is why, when it's all said and done, Paul Ryan's Medicare is better for seniors than Obamacare's Medicare. They tell you, oh, he's a radical. He's going to destroy Medicare. Medicare has 4 parts: A, B, C, and D. All he does is extend the more modern and successful C and D to A and B. You know, C and D, that's part of the alphabet. They say he's going to destroy Medicare. C and D, that's part of Medicare. He just extends C and D to the old-fashioned A and B. C and D work. They're new. Their costs are below projections. A and B don't. They're bankrupting Medicare. They're bankrupting America. And so all he does is take the proven parts of Medicare and extends them to the parts that don't work. And for that, they're saying he's destroying Medicare. It's a death trap for seniors. Well, I have news for them. Obama already turned Medicare into a death trap for seniors. Medicare Part C, that's Medicare Advantage. You choose your own plan from the private sector. 1/4 of all seniors have already done that. In just a few years since that started, 1/4 of the entire population under Medicare has exercised Medicare Part C. Medicare Part D, you pick your own insurance company for the prescription drugs. And that's all Ryan does, is say, okay, we're going to do that for A and B. And for that, they show him throwing senior citizens over a cliff. It's the Democrats who are throwing America over the cliff. So Ryan's Medicare is patient power. And under Ryan's Medicare, it's better for seniors because under his plan, you can escape the $716 billion in Medicare cuts that Obama's imposed. You can escape the Medicare death panel that Obama imposed on Medicare, the Independent Payment Advisory Board, that has the power to cut off your doctor and your hospital. And when they're cut off, guess what? They're going to cut you off. You're not going to get the health care. If the government's not going to pay them, you're not going to get the health care. And so, but you can escape all that through Ryan's Medicare, and that's why it's better for seniors than Obamacare's Medicare. We can see patient power, too, in Paul Ryan's Medicaid reforms. Medicaid is the program for the poor in health care. Paul Ryan's Medicaid is better for the poor than Medicaid under Obamacare. The great conceit of Obamacare is that only through the government takeover of health care can we assure health care for all. That's the trick they use. Well, we got to have Obamacare because only with Obamacare can we have health care for all. But Ryan would empower each state to provide those without health insurance the little extra assistance they need to buy private health insurance of their choice. The poor would greatly benefit from this because they could escape the Medicaid ghetto, where the government already doesn't pay the doctors and hospitals, and people already die because they can't get health care because the government won't pay them. So under Ryan's Medicaid, the poor actually gain enormously. They get the same health care as the middle class because they have the same health insurance as the middle class. And so for all your screaming and yelling and screaming about what he does, his system actually is better for the poor. A comprehensive health care safety net focused on the truly needy would ensure essential health care for all. A comprehensive health care safety net focused on the truly needy would assure health care for all, without the government takeover of health care, without socialized medicine. But the Obama and his Democrat Party-controlled media don't want you to know that. They want you to think the only way we can have health care for all is through socialized medicine. It's a big lie, in fact. With a health care safety net focused on the poor for just a tiny fraction of the cost of Obamacare, you can assure health care for all. They are just using the needy and the poor to advance their own political goals. They don't care about the needy and the poor, and they never did. They're just props to the Democrat Party. They are just props to Obama. So, Mr. Obama, I say to you, transform yourself. We know you had a difficult childhood being raised in Indonesia, but you can overcome that. You can come home now. Don't transform America into a third world country. Transform the third world into the freedom and prosperity of America. Thank you very much.